Hello. Hello, and welcome to Everyday Ordinary, Extraordinary Women. I am Martina, and I'm here with Christina. We're your podcast hosts, and we are deep divers and avid students of life and powerful facilitators for healing. In real life, I'm a life coach specializing in parent and women empowerment, and I'm also a sound healer.
And I'm Christina. I'm an intuitive healer who loves to blend massage therapy with energy work to provide customized holistic services for my clients. Martina and I both love to incorporate crystals, essential oils, angelic Reiki, and intuitive guidance into all of our work.
And let me just tell you a little bit about the podcast. We were inspired to create this after pondering on this question. What will the world look like where we can be inspired by every person? Usually we are so quick to compare and judge ourselves and others. And when we do that, everybody's losing. Depending on my point of view, I can either feel small because I come out lacking, or arrogant and dismissive because I feel superior. And those are the only two options. And you know what? Neither of those options make us feel good. So here's our thought. Someone's everyday normal is someone else's extraordinary. Judgment comes from first impressions, and we invite you, the listener, to go beyond first impressions and see the magic everywhere. There's inspiration at every corner, in everyone, if we're willing to look. And today, we're here with Samantha, all the way from Australia. She's in tomorrow already. So welcome, Samantha.
Thank you.
I'd like you to introduce yourself.
So I am a mum of two daughters, now young adults of 19 and 18. I immigrated to Australia almost, well, let's just say 18 years ago. So almost going on 20 soon. And I'm originally from Paris, France. And I'm in transition. So from being a naturopath, a homeopath, and energy healer, so to speak, I am becoming a lawyer, as you do.
As you do. You continue learning and growing and moving into whichever direction life pulls you, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so Samantha, who you are for me is just this powerhouse, right? It's like the courage it takes to go back to school. And you might not see it as courage, but it's still like the willingness, or I don't know. It's a combination of all of it, right? To continue your journey and go back to study with people that are much younger than you, probably most of them were, right? And to take that on and just trying to figure out life, because there was a lot of turmoil during that time as well. I met you during, like, just right before COVID started, and Australia completely shut down, and all the challenges that brought, and raising your two daughters, holding space for your two daughters through all of it. And it's just beautiful to see how you just kept holding that space. And I know it wasn't easy. I know it had all its challenges, up and downs and in betweens, as I like to say. And so I'm so appreciative to know you and to have you here today. And if we really knew you, what would we know about you?
Oh, if you really knew me, you would know that I love unconditionally, that I am fiercely loyal and determined. What else? You would probably know that I love anything energy and the water.
Beautiful.
So Samantha, I want to know right now, what brought you from France to Australia?
Well, I married an Australian, so that was the easy one. Easy one. No, it's not easy to move to Australia. Don't think it is. I don't think it's easy to move to any country, let alone on the other side of the world. And when I was pregnant, he just said, well, let's go to Australia. That's a better country
So was
to
he
raise
living?
children. And that's
How
usually
did
the
you meet
thing.
him?
Oh my God. It was in the middle of nowhere in the south of Holland. Uh, in the south of the Netherlands, there was a group gathering, a youth group, and we met there. Well, youth, young adults or adults. And we met there in the middle of nowhere. It was cold, and he lended me his blanket. Isn't that cute?
So romantic.
Very romantic.
Wow. Wow. Very cool. And then you said you loved water, so was that an appeal that you were from Paris and
No, not really. It has nothing to do because for 17 years I lived not close to water, although an hour drive is, or an hour and a half is not that bad. But no, it wasn't really the water that was appealing. It was,
the
the other
adventure?
side of the world. The grass must be greener over there, shouldn't it?
It must be.
Must be.
Mm, I
Except
love
in
it.
summer in Australia, where the grass is really yellow because it dries out. But
I can get that completely. So tell us a funny, silly, or embarrassing story about yourself.
Yeah, embarrassing story. That comes with the perks of not being a native English speaker. So I was in Australia studying homeopathy, and we were in one of those classes, in a materia medica class where we study the remedies. And at the time, I thought, well, homeopathy is great, but we need some evidence-based and all the rest. So yes, we were studying those very well-known, but like kind of strange remedies, like the milks of the mammals. So dog milk and all the rest. And I thought, how on earth do you get to, it's not like anybody's gonna milk the dog, right? So, and well, I went through that, and my frustration was just building up through that. And then the lecturer said, so now we're going on to sperm whale. And I'm like, oh my God, sperm whale. Like, and I just said it because I couldn't hold it anymore. I'm like, how can we have a remedy? So we've had all these remedies from the milk of the mammals, and now we're gonna have a remedy from the sperm of a whale. And everybody packed up laughing. And I was like, Mom, why is everybody laughing? Then suddenly somebody said, well, actually, Sam, the sperm whale, that's the name of the whale. It's not the sperm of the whale. And I just wanted to hide from there on. So now I know that there is a species of whale called sperm whale. There we go.
What brought you to homeopathy? Like how did that start? Because you said, yeah, you wanted science, right? So how did you get there?
I want, actually, what I really wanted was to share my incredible experience with women in being pregnant. For me, being pregnant has been the most freeing, liberating moment ever. I was myself, I was strong physically, emotionally. That was it. That was what I was meant to do. Like, wow, it was a fabulous moment. And I wanted to share that. And I thought, well, how about I become a midwife? And of course, my kids were really, really small. And I thought, well, midwife, yeah, that's all good until it's not necessarily a pleasant experience for the other person. And having all of a sudden, I could feel myself being much more compassionate with people and taking on things that were happening to children much more intensely than I had ever done before. I thought, well, maybe I can't do that. I won't be able to hold space. I would take everything for me, and that's it. And I thought, oh, what about nursing? Could be good to help women. And then I thought about the grumpy old man, and I went, I don't, no, that's not my personality. I bless them all, but yeah, that's not something I can do. And then I saw that in Australia, you didn't need to become a doctor to be a homeopath. And I went, oh, that's nice. Because in Europe, homeopathy is everywhere. So I thought, oh, okay, well, let's have a look. And then it had all these, chemistry and biochemistry. And I went, oh, well, maybe I can't do that. Maybe that's not for me because I'm not a science person per se. And I went on, and I just took my first subject, chemistry. I thought, if I have ever a dream of succeeding, I need to pass that one. And I did. And I went, oh, okay. So I'll go on. And that's how I actually started.
Cool. That is really cool. So the next question would be, what is your superpower? But it's like determination. What else? What else is your superpower?
What else is my superpower? Maybe loving unconditionally. That's one, not a maybe. That's definite one. And the other one is thinking out of the box and making and remembering for people. When I say that is remembering what people told me before. And when they're a bit down, saying, hey, do you remember when? And usually that's something that I brought with me and that I carried on, that they said. And I went, yeah, oh, look, that was such a fabulous idea. And sometimes some people forget. And just being able to remind them of what they said, proving who they are and their drive, that I think is one of my superpowers.
I love that. So Samantha, what made you who you are today?
My children, definitely. They are by far my biggest teachers. Any events, the life events. Usually it's the hard one where you learn the painful lessons. And yeah, any single one of them have made me who I am today. And the fabulous people that I had the honor of meeting along the way, with whom I've done a little bit of journey, and it's just fabulous. Those people are just amazing. And whether it's a good thing or a difficult one, it still made me who I am today.
Yeah. I know we've said this before on this podcast, but we don't grow from the stuff that just smoothly runs along, right? It's the stuff that knocks us a little off balance and rubs us the wrong way that we really grow from in life if we choose to learn the lesson and see what it has to teach us.
Definitely. Or sometimes you just go through something you don't know. You just go, okay, one step at a time, or that's too much. One foot in front of the other, or that's too much. Let's just get out of bed for today and right now, and we'll see. And you do, and it's only maybe years later where you go, whoa, in hindsight, I've come such a long way.
Yeah. Or I'm pretty unstoppable, or I'm a major manifestor. For me, my major manifestor moment was a day when my boiler had broken. My car was dead in front of the house, and there was a third thing I can't even remember. And I was just like, God, my life is so fucked up right now. And then I was like, oh, look how powerful I am. I am creating chaos all over the place. Now, if I actually focused my attention, what could I do? And that was my like wake up moment.
That's powerful. I wish I was like that when chaos was around, but no, I wasn't. It was like, oh, okay, need to
I
go
think it was
on.
definitely some angels or guides speaking to me in that moment because believe me, I was pretty down on myself in that moment. But I just had that thought to flip how I saw it, and it was probably one of the more powerful um insights I've had along the way. Yeah.
And it's beautiful how you're saying, Samantha, that like everything shaped because it really is, right? And at the same time, sometimes there is those big ones, right? That just get put in your lap and you're like, okay, I cannot see anything other than what's sitting in my lap right now, right? And so it's like, how do we maneuver those? How do we try and peek around the corner, even though it's so big that there's really nothing else to see, right? And yes, sometimes it's a huge accomplishment to get out of bed in the morning, and that's enough, right? And that's, can we let it be enough and be gentle with ourselves in that whole process? Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do to fill yourself up?
I meet as much as I can with those people that I have met, that I have the honor of knowing, and that are in my circle. That fills me up. We talk about everything and anything from, everyday life to energy work to theology to politics to weather. And also just generally meeting people, even new people, just going out there. Yeah, that fills me up.
Connection.
Absolutely.
Samantha, what are you most grateful for?
I think I've been pretty lucky um, because of all these people in my life. And I've also been lucky because I have been in a state of mind of always trying to learn more, understand myself more, try to not accommodate. There was a period of time, let's be really clear, where I tried to fit the molds because, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a this, I'm a that, and there was certain molds. Now I've come to realize that I don't fit any molds. I knew that before. I don't know what happened. I must have a memory recall stop at that moment, maybe with the hormones of motherhood. I'm not sure. But it's coming back to who I am and having that insights, inspiration, people around me telling me, I don't know what it is, but having that moment, that I am extremely grateful to say, no, it's not that it's not enough. There's more behind. What else can I learn? How else can I share? What can be done? That for me, I'm really grateful to be able to do that.
And know yourself.
Yes, or trying to unlearn what I thought I knew about myself at the moment to go back to who it is that I really am.
Yeah.
Wow, that's just life itself in a nutshell. Period. We can stop here right now. Right? That's our job, really, to unlearn all that kind of society has put upon us. And, not in a bad way, because they didn't know better either, right? But
Mhm.
just really unlearn all and come back to our innocence and our beauty and joy and all of that, right? Yeah, cool. So beautiful. Okay, so tell us about the time you took a chance for love. And it doesn't have to be necessarily romantic love. And it might have been when you met your husband or when you went to Australia, and it might not have been. So when did you take a chance for love? Might be self-love as well, by the way, or for your children.
Well, I actually took 3 chances for love. The first one was I was in that relationship with that Australian crazy person who was living in Holland. At the time, he was living in Amsterdam, and he said, okay, well, why don't you come live with me? And I went, you know what? Whether we make it or we break it, but I just need to try. So I left everything I knew, everybody I knew, my job and whatever else. And I went and I moved to Amsterdam. Try to meet new people, new environment, new culture, on top of the expats culture, and new cultures altogether, because there was a lot of expat from different countries. And yeah, so we got married, we got pregnant, and then do it all over again because I was going to have a baby and I wanted to give my baby the best opportunities. So let's go to Australia. Let's immigrate to that other side of the world. And we did that, and it was an experience in and of itself because it's new, it's motherhood, first time baby. And then I was pregnant with the second one, and it was another new culture. My husband working crazy hours and not knowing anybody here, and having that time difference where you miss the opportunity to talk to your loved ones, to talk to your support system. So it was really really another chance for my baby. And then more recently, it was do it all over again, but in a shorter distance, where we sold our family home because my child was changed high school, the youngest one. She changed her school because of problems over there, and so sell the house, get rid of 17 years of memories and things that I put in place just arriving in Australia and all the rest, and change place and meet new people and do it all over again.
You know, given that I'm in the process of moving, one of the cool things is like you also get to see who you have become in that time, right? Because there's stuff like I'm finding stuff as I'm packing that is just like not me anymore, right? I'm not that person anymore. And I imagine, like yours is a much longer period of time, right? From when when your children were little to now where they're almost grown, right? It's like, wow, I'm not that person anymore.
Mm. It's fascinating to go through that and to be able to observe how everybody has evolved. It's you find things from when they were babies. It's like, oh no, I want to keep it. Yeah, but I don't have anywhere to place it. Oh yeah, I'm still gonna keep it. Just that one thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you see who you have become.
Yeah. I just love the way you embrace change. It's really beautiful. All right, next question. If you had a magic wand and could give people any quality, what would it be and why?
Oh, common sense. Number one. And then a sense of responsibility. We all make choices. We all make decisions. And we have to stand up for the choices we make. We have to take responsibility and not try to offload it to somebody or something else. That would be my thing. And the sense of empowerment that comes with that sense of responsibility, because all of a sudden we make other decisions. It's not, oh no, just let's try that and, you know, I have a safety net. No, it's, I take full responsibility of whatever consequences are going to be. That would be my thing too.
I love it.
What would that provide for the world?
Sorry?
What would that provide for the world?
Respect.
Mm.
Respect for oneself, but also respect for others. Because if we take full responsibility, then we can't blame anybody else. And at the same time, the same goes the other way. So we all start working, instead of working against each other or competing or anything like that, we start off working with each other.
I think it would create more trust too, right? When you know that the people around you are going to be responsible, it's a different level of trust that then you can provide each other too.
Yeah. And then you have security that comes along the way because you trust. So you
Right.
feel okay. There's more.
Which then provides more freedom, right? Because you can trust. Now you're free to do things because you can trust all these people around you. So what a beautiful world you're creating, Samantha.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So who or what do you want to be when you grow up? And I know some people say, I never want to grow up. That's okay. But who or what do you want to be when you grow up? Like if you could be anything or anyone, what would that be and why? If there's no restrictions, no limitations. No time, no money, no nothing.
It's either something like the elder woman in the tribe, you know, the wise one that you go for counsel, or the probably, no, I'm not going to say that. It's the women version of Tony Robbins, where there's that empowerment of people, that sense of, you know, you want to change things, just do and change. And here are the tools. And that's how you can become stronger within yourself and make things work for you, make change for yourself, your family, and everybody you're going to meet. That.
And I'm here to cheer you on, and I've got your back, and I'm celebrating you.
And holding space for your highest potential. Yeah. So good. So good. Samantha, what do you want people to remember about you?
How made them feel? Hopefully positive, because I know I can be a rough diamond. So when rough comes to rough, that's me. But yes, always remembering that my intentions come from my heart. Like there's no negativity into it or anything like that, even if it doesn't come across. Particularly living in a foreign language country for me, sometimes the way I approach things or I say things, people get ruffled, not sure, but yeah, they don't like it necessarily. But instead of that, they don't listen to the intention. They just listen to the words and react from their own perspective without actually listening. So yeah, I think I would like people to remember where I come from and how I made them feel, because apparently I'm a bear sort of person. You know, it's, yeah, you need support, you need help, I'm here and I'm going to protect you and, you know, give you what I can, however I can, even if it's rough, even if you don't like it on the moment. But yeah, here it is. It's raw honesty just because I love you.
I was just going to say ruthless compassion. That's what I get from you.
Yes, absolutely. So What do you do for fun?
Meet people that I love. Exploring new things. So either it's, I love traveling. So whether it's traveling or trying new foods or, yeah, anything a bit eccentric, or my sort of eccentric, sorry. It could be, yeah. And for fun, oh, bring it on with the crystals and all the rest. Yeah, I love playing with crystals. Yeah, that.
I pulled a card from my crystal deck before our call, and I got turquoise amazonite. So yes, which the throat chakra and all about like, well, let's see, I can't read in my room, but loving expression, which I thought was so beautiful before our podcast, pull the loving expression card. So yeah. Mm-mm-mm. All right, next question. What do you consider your biggest accomplishment?
Definitely graduating from my law degree. Now, let me give you some feedback, some background on that. It's actually, law is something that I found when I was younger. So it's one of those things. It's like, oh, I can't even go on, try to get there. So I must be not blah, 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 blah. And that's the time where I've put in my backpack of, you are not this, you're not that, you're not this, you're not that, I can't succeed at that. So having managed to do a Juris Doctor with a family, started in COVID. Now you have to remember that in Victoria in particular, it was really hard because it went for a very, very long time, the restrictions. So it was really hard on everybody. I'm really super proud. Like yeah, I'm really super proud. And then I went to see the universities with my girls. And it looks like even my previous piece of paper, out of university was a pretty good one. And I went, huh, oh, really? Maybe, just maybe, I can be proud of that too. So yeah, but my biggest accomplishment is still the law degree because it took everything, like courage and time and tears, blood, sweat, and tears, or literally, because yes, there was a lot of times where I said, no, I'm not good enough. No, I can't do it. No, I'm gonna stop. Oh, I'm just gonna take some time off, and all these things. So yeah, I'm really glad I pursued. Really glad.
It's so cool that you did that. I remember when you started, I remember when you said you're going to do that. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. Good for you. Good for you for not giving up and proving yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because who cares about the rest of the world? Yourself wrong, right? Proving to yourself that you can, proving to yourself that, yes, you're worth it. Whatever you choose to do, you are worth it, right? So beautiful.
Thank you. But it was indeed proving to myself. And when I stood there on the stage receiving my diploma, the piece of paper, it was really like, wow, I've proved it to myself. There was nobody else involved. It was a self-development, 3.5 years or 4 years, however long it took me, but it was really for me. So yeah, it was interesting, very interesting to go through it.
It's actually another time when you took a chance for love, in a way.
In a way, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, all about loving yourself and giving up that self-talk and doubt and and really
Doing it your way.
it,
All of it.
stepping into the next possibility, and all
Mm,
the people's lives that you're going to impact with it too is just, you did all that with your homeopathy, but now you're going to impact more lives with your law and bring your energy work to your law. Like, who knows what kind of difference you're going to make. So it's really inspiring, really inspiring.
And you taught your daughters and whoever young person is around your daughters that it can be done, right? How cool is that? It's like we embark on this journey and we're like, my children are like, well, I'm studying this. I'm like, most people I know don't stay in the careers that they chose. Most people pivot and find a different way, right? No
mm.
matter when. And how cool is that to show them that?
It could be really cool. In particular, I find it now, in particular when they're, or my youngest one, she's already preparing for understanding what university she wants to go into, etc., etc. So it's that type of thing. It's like, well, yeah, okay, no problem. Just just take my advice. I have a little thing to say, but it comes from parents, so hopefully she will have that in her bank of memory and her ability, both of them actually, their
Yeah,
ability to go, all right, let's do something else if needs be.
yeah.
If need
Let's
be.
give it a try.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like I remember my mom went back to school when she was 40, I want to say 45. And it was such a big deal because she was the oldest in the class. The youngest were my age, and I was 13. No, I was around 15, 16. And the oldest were my brother's age, so around 22. So
Mm.
and she would go to school and for me, like I so admired her for that. And I thought it was just really incredible that she took that on because she was like, well, all these kids, they don't really care about the subject, right? So it was really challenging to be in class with all these young people who just have to do something because that's what, So, so yeah.
It is. It's really hard. And even now, I'm finishing up so to become an Australian legal practitioner, as they're called. And I'm going to have to find a work experience. And, there's all these questions, but I'm going to compete. I hate competing. So already there's the compete one. There's the, but they're all 23, 24. And like I'm here and I'm like, oh, I have a lot of life experience. Hello. And because I have a family, I don't have the voluntary work behind me, or I didn't do paralegal work. It's not how I come to law. And yes, and I come from a very, very like opposite side or thinking in law. I come from the energetic medicine world, and I'm going to law, so it's going to be interesting.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun, Samantha. You're gonna make it fun because that's just how you are. That's how you go through life.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. At this stage, I'm like, well, whatever, I trust the universe. I'm here for a reason. And I trust that that's what I need to do, and I will find a way, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
We're really excited to watch you flourish in your next stage of life. And who knows, maybe you'll take on something next after this. Who knows what Samantha might possibly do next? It will be exciting to follow you and see. So yeah, it's just really great having you on this today. Thank you so much for sharing your courageous and compassionate life with us. Like, yeah, it's just an adventure, and I love that. I love how you make most people are so afraid to make changes in life, right? And you've done so many big ones, and it's just like, oh, next, okay. And not to say that they're easy, but but I love that you bring fun to it. And yeah. So for all those out there who want to make changes, go for it. Give
Oh
it a
yeah,
try.
go.
The worst that happens is it doesn't work out and you get to try something new. So yeah, that's a great energy to
And
share.
it's never a failure unless you have not tried, right? It just becomes a life experience, or if you try and you don't get where you want to go, it's probably exactly what needed to happen. But it's not the only failure is not trying. It's not even, it's giving up before it even started.
Sometimes it's hard to understand that. It's when you're in it and you think that's what you need to do and that's how success looks like. So if you don't get there, it's automatically a failure. But yeah,
Right.
it depends. So, for me, my failure was failing law when I was young. And here I am,
Crushing
years
it.
later, plus, and succeeding in it. And I'm like, whoa, okay, all right. So just
Yeah.
go for it. You never know what can happen.
It could exceed your wildest dreams.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Samantha, thank you again for joining us today, all the way from Australia. It was really a blast to be here with you today. For everyone out there listening, thank you so much for joining us today. If you love this, please share it with your friends, your loved ones. Please leave us a review. And please remember, you are extraordinary. You rock. Until next time.
Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Samantha, you want to say bye?
Thank you very much for listening. And yeah, just go for it. You never know what can happen.